My name is Benjamin Akakwo. This is Joy News Desk. Coming up this hour, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo commits to adequately equip the Ghana Armed Forces to enable it contain threats posed by extremist groups operating along Ghana's northern borders, as well as internal security challenges. Also coming up, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin incensed over recent acts of harassment and threats of arrest towards some members of Parliament by law enforcement agencies in the country. We shall bring you details of that. And in the main EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair exhibition, it takes off today, the 28th of October to the 1st of November 2021 at the Accra International Conference Center. We tell you more about what to expect later in the day. More of these with details coming up after the break. Do stay with us on Joy News Desk. Thank you for staying. Let's start from the august House of Parliament, where the Speaker, Right Honourable Alban Bagbin, is incensed over the recent acts of harassment and threats of arrest on some members of Parliament by law enforcement agencies in the country. This follows a petition by Medina MP Francis Xavier Sosu for some two senior police officers to be cited for contempt for manhandling him and threatening to arrest him for leading a demonstration against bad roads in his constituency. His complaint comes in the wake of a litany of abuses against lawmakers, including the prevention of the Kumawu MP Philip Baswa by the police from participating in the voting of the DCE nominee in his area. Mr. Bagbin warned he would not countenance such acts in the near future.
I myself will be issuing a statement in the near future on what is happening to members of Parliament from both sides of the House. Both sides of the House. I receive complaints. I receive information about how police service, some personnel, pursue members of Parliament from both sides of the House. And I've on a number of occasions intervened to talk to the authorities and to draw their attention to the law. Even sometimes I have to call the Attorney General and Minister for Justice in this matter. So apart from this, I myself had decided to come with a very comprehensive statement on this matter and let people know that members of Parliament have some special rights because of the peculiar nature of the position, the functions, and the duties of the member of Parliament. It's not during my tenure of office that I will sit still, stare, and allow those things to be flouted with impunity. It won't happen. And let it be known that the power of the people is stronger than the people in power.
So that was the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament. But some members of the House have been reacting to the motion by Francis Xavier Sosu, Member of Parliament for Medina, on the floor. This was yesterday. Let's hear some of what they had to say.
The petition, standing in the name of MP for Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu, wants the House to probe the two senior officers over their conduct during a demonstration he led in his constituency. But even before the House could make a determination on the petition, the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Makin, on a point of order, quizzed the MP on whether there was an official notification to the Speaker before the issue was brought up for consideration. The move to arrest the motion angered some minority MPs, including the Minority Leader, Haruna Idrisu. Listen to some of the arguments advanced by both sides of the House.
Just a clarification. The provision there is clear that provided he has previously notified Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he didn't add that to his submission to the effect that he has previously notified you of this application. I only wanted to be sure that this has been so done, because, Mr. Speaker, there was a similar application during your temporary absence, and objection came from the deputy minority leader.
You didn't even avail yourself for conclave. You just came in. Habib was holding the fort for all of you. That's what I'm saying. Don't spoil the temperature here.
Speaker, you don't answer for Speaker. I am called from Mr. Speaker, and you want to answer for Mr. Speaker. I am only asking because that was your concern.
The Speaker, sensing an escalation of tempest, intervened and called the House to order, in which he asked the MPs to rise above pettiness.
Let me emphasize that matters of contempt of Parliament or members of Parliament or staff of Parliament are serious matters. Very, very serious matters. These are the building blocks of democracy. If we allow that to be eroded, we have no legs to stand on. You don't joke with that. You are not just members of Parliament. You are leaders. And if leaders cannot even take care of their constituents, what is your value? They have given all their destiny to you to lead them. Lead them to have better lives. Protect us. Defend us. Care for us. Make sure we enjoy the fundamental human rights and freedoms that are guaranteed in the Constitution, so that we can exercise our potential to the fullest. You have that responsibility, and you have to discharge it. That is why you are given special rights. So when we are dealing with contempt, it's not one of those issues that you can toy with. And I take a serious view of it. I am the one to determine. If I'm not notified, I will say so. I will hold the person and say, you are out of order. Go back and do the proper thing.
With calm setting in, Mr. Soso was given the floor to present his petition and narrated how he fled home for fear of being arrested by the police.
The police officers under the command of the said ACP Isaac Kojo Asante, the Regional Operations Commander, and Eric Winfo, the Divisional Commander of Adenta Abokobi, led their boys to manhandle me, their men to manhandle me and virtually held me and humiliated me right in the presence of my constituents with whom we were demanding for better roads. Honorable Speaker, but for the fact that the youth ganged up to rescue me from the hands of the police, they would have just bundled me like a common criminal into their standing vehicle. And Mr. Speaker, when the youth eventually supported me and got me into my vehicle, Mr. Speaker, the said police officers stood in front of my vehicle and continued to bang my vehicle and refused that they were not going to allow me to leave the venue of the demonstration until I mustered courage and sped off the area. Mr. Speaker, I believe that the conduct of the said two officers are clear. They are clearly in contempt of the work that I do as a member of Parliament and in contempt of this Parliament. I didn't see the reason why, as a sitting member of Parliament of this august House, the police will manhandle me in that manner. To the extent that, Mr. Speaker, when I left, there were intas all over that the police had sent people to my house, to my area, and I could not even stay in my own house for the last 48 hours.
Mr. Bagbin subsequently referred the matter to the Privileges Committee and warned he would not countenance any move to intimidate or belittle the country's MPs.
In the circumstances, I can only, under Order 31, direct that the matter be referred to the Committee of Privileges. The committee will investigate the complaint and will submit a report to the House for the full consideration of the matter. At the end of the day, it is the House that will determine whether the complaint and the report, with whatever evidence gathered, really did constitute contempt of Parliament.
For Joy News, I am Chrissy Parker-Wilson.
From the floor of Parliament, let's talk politics now, as banners of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Alan Tremantin, and Dr. Akoto Afriyie flooded the Ashanti Region's MPP Delegates Conference held Wednesday, October 27. Now, though nominations are yet to open for various positions in the party, subtle campaigning is ongoing. Nana Yaujima was at the Regional Delegates Conference of the MPP and filed this report.
The conference venue was awash with flyers suspected to be from the camp of Trade and Industry Minister Alan Tremantin. The front of the leaflet reads, 10 things to know about lawyer and economist Alan Tremantin. It profiles the 3-time failed presidential aspirant. The other side of the flyer, dubbed the Alan News, features what looks like news headlines, and key among them reads, why Alan Cash will win the NPP flag bearer race and defeat John Mahama 2024. Nana Prempeh supports Alan Tremantin to contest the flag bearer position.
Yes, all the code of office is no. Not a single candidate have declared official intention, but all the candidates are followers. They have fan clubs, friends of Bawumia, friends of Alan, Alan pretty ladies and those things. So you could see even the heart worry me. It's Alan 424. It's one of the pressure group that is champion for the coming of Alan Tremantin. So it's not official launching of any individual, but it's the fan group, the supporters who have put in together themselves to support their various candidates.
The grounds were also awash with T-shirts of Agric Minister Dr. Osu Akoto Afriyie. It is speculated the former Kwadaso MP has interest in the NPP flag bearership. Here are some of his supporters.
We met him and we discussed with him, but he didn't make any point that he's coming. But we, the grassroots, are just yearning for him to come.
I think this is the time MPP party pushes the man, for the man to acquire that height, because the man has sacrificed for the party.
We wish that he will accept what the grassroots is pushing to be the flag bearer, so that our party can break the 80 against that we are wanting to break.
Also on the grounds were banners with a picture of the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, with the inscription, The People's Choice. The Vice President, who was invited for the occasion, was represented by Fred Owari.
2020, the 2024 there, Nini Enda Asante Manso, Sir, Nia Mwankasamba Yina Babiano, also Ni Party Fonina, and in the home page no way, Juma Pepe, no Kanka Rubio, say for prayer.
Meanwhile, General Secretary John Boadu says, though there is a ban on campaigns, declaration of intentions on billboards are tolerated. Some banners of John Boadu himself were on display.
Starting campaign this year. If she said, "Who starting campaign this year?" Near na Niama Anko year. President Juma Oyeno. Nya dia obetumi aye. Unamo he na mehwe. Weka now, we picture and no one we can accept. But the election is starting campaign this year, you'll be distracted by this campaign by our own people. Now, dear, so dear, I know. And our presidential candidates and our parliamentary candidates who make also now their campaign for victory in 2024.
Other persons with interest in positions at both regional and national levels had banners all over the grounds. For Joy News, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
Let's move on now to other news. And the leadership of the Fulani community in Ghana are accusing the Ghana Police Service of wrongfully killing 2 innocent members of the Fulani group, contrary to reports from the police service alleging that the 2, together with one survived victim who survived, who's the Fulani chief of Saula, was a part of a gang of armed robbers in the Savannah region. The leadership is refuting claims that the 3 exchanged fire with the police after they were arrested in their respective homes by the command. They called on the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, to investigate the matter and ensure that officers involved are brought to book.
On Saturday night at about 1 a.m. I was in the house and I heard a knock on my door. I came out to look at the door and I found that there were police officers at my door. So I opened. When I opened, they entered inside my room and they told me that I'm under arrest. So immediately one of them entered inside my bedroom where my wife was. They took my mobile phones, took another 2 mobile phones that doesn't belong to me. They brought me out, they handcuffed me, put me in their vehicle, which happens to be pickup.
This is the Sola Fulani chief Alhaji Ali Abdu narrating to me how armed police officers said to have come from the national headquarters arrested him at about 1:30 a.m. in his house. The team picked 2 other persons, one in Sola and another whom he do not know in Bole.
They took me to one Idrisu's house in Saula, and when we got there, they left me in the car. They went and picked him. After they picked him, his wife and the mother and families came out from the house asking questions and wondering where they were taking him to. And when they brought him, they added him to me. They drove all the way from Saula to Bole. They picked another one Fulani man whom we didn't know. I didn't know. Idris also didn't know.
Whilst in handcuffs, they were driven to a village called Wasipe between Kintampo and Bole Bamboy Road, where they were brought down and shot at close range by the police personnel.
When they took us down, they asked us to sit by the roadside. So as we were sitting by the roadside, the car was coming, the car passed by, they asked us to hide so the car would pass. So after that, they started asking questions. They asked us why are we notorious armed robbers? That's what they learned, and they are from Accra, and they are here to pick us. So when they pick us, when they told us that all of a sudden we heard a gunshot. I had a gunshot. After the gunshot, another gunshot. The next one, I went off.
The 3, after the gunshots, were kept in the bucket of the pickup, but the survived victim, whom the police thought had died too, managed to escape whilst the police were conveying the bodies to an unknown location.
So when I went off, I was unconscious, but I was able to breathe and I was able to see what is happening. So they took us and packed us inside the pickup. When they packed us in the pickup, they drove all the way from that side, and then we were going. I didn't know where we were because we were covered with tapoli. So on the road, I came to realize that the car was not moving that fast on the road, so I decided to jump off, open the tapoli, and then jumped off. That's where I fell, and then I was there till around 5 a.m. I started hearing rolling, and I decided to follow bit by bit. I was unconscious, I had to go slowly. When I got there, I found out it was Captain Hesman's home. So I told them to get me a phone. I called my daughter in Tamale and informed her about what has happened to me. From there, they also called other people, which happens to be my own younger brother. From there, they called the national executives of our association, and then they came in.
The leadership of the Fulani community in Ghana, led by its General Secretary Alhaji Ahmed Musa Bari, is however accusing the police of killing innocent souls who have nothing to do with the allegations leveled against them.
I think it's unprofessional, it's condemnable. I don't think any reasonable professional police officer will arrest even a suspect, handcuffed, and go in the bush and shoot him. No, I think we have laws in this country. We must follow the rules of the law, because you police officer, being a police officer doesn't mean you own the law.
He indicated that the survived victim, who is currently on admission in one of the major hospitals in the Bono East region, is amongst the members of the Fulani community who are lacing up with the security to expose the badness amongst them.
And let me tell you, this man, this chief, is the one who has been giving us information. Even Thursday, I was at the national headquarters. I was seated with Ken Yabua, one-to-one. Those information I gave Ken Yabua on Thursday, this is the man who gave us that information. I'm letting the whole country to hear me. This person is not a criminal. He rather fight against the criminals among us. So how come that today you just go and pick him and shoot him? And now you are making stories. We are following those stories that the police are making. And we will follow it to the letter. We want those police officers to be brought to book. This must stop. We are not in a banana country. We are in a lawful country, Ghana.
They are therefore calling for a thorough investigations into the matter and the officers involved brought to book.
I want the police hierarchy to bring these perpetrators out. I think this is not the first time. Maybe this has been happening, but we are very lucky. Today, this survived victim have exposed the police hierarchies or the officers. This is somebody who is in the region helping us to carve out those criminals within the region. And you pick him up. So very luckily, he's alive. He can speak. He is speaking. All what happens to him, he will stand before any competent law court to speak.
Contrary to a statement from the police command commending the Savannah and Bono East regional police commanders for the successful operation that led to the death of the alleged armed robbers, the Savannah regional police commander DCOP Peter N. Baba told me in a phone interview that he was on leave and cannot speak to the subject, and his counterpart, the Bono East regional commander DCOP Moses Asabagna Atibila, also disclosed to me on phone that he only heard about the incident after it happened. For now, the survived victim is responding to treatment under the care of the Bono East Regional Police Command, who are said to be providing him with security protection. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Teacherman.
Now, from that very troubling incident, if you love to purchase your food by the roadside, what you're about to see might just be a little startling. Imagine your favorite fried rice being cooked in a dirty environment, and as if that were not enough, right by fecal matter. Well, this was a situation at an eatery near the New Plant Station at Circle here in Accra when officials of the AMA stormed the place. My colleague Judith Awachitando was with the team and reports the shop has been shut down.
I'm here at a guest house at Circle around New Plant Station. Now, this guest house has been operating since the June 3rd floods without a toilet facility for over 20 occupants, and also it doesn't have a septic tank. And so when people defecate, they come and throw it in a container right by.
Here is a resident that they have shops here, they have a restaurant here, they have a drinking bar here. And there is a suspected guest house here that we want to check. So we are going in there to start our inspection to check the sanitation situation here. What is going on here? What do you do here? So is it your kitchen or your serving room? What do you do here?
I do cook and serve.
So look at what is happening here. This is fresh. This meat just come from the fire. And you yourself have created an unhygienic condition around where you are preparing the food. You get it? So just imagine that where you are preparing the food is in this bad condition. and people are sitting right there waiting for you to come and serve them. Huh? What is happening here? Can you tell us? Look at the corner where you are preparing the food.
I'm preparing the food.
No, where? Look at the sanitation. Where is it in a good condition? Where you are preparing the food?
I'm about to arrange it.
You're about to arrange it, and you are preparing the food under the bad condition. Yes, look at what is happening. William, here. Come.
Hey.
So this is fecal matter. So the fecal matter flies will come into where the fecal matter is and go and step on the food that you are selling for public consumption. Look at what is happening here.
Hey.
So how many times have we warned you not to sell or not to prepare food here and sell for public consumption? How many times? This is fecal matter. And you don't even mind, and you are selling food, you are preparing your food close to it. Look at what is happening. So we are come to confiscate all these things because the food that is preparing there is not under good condition. So we will not allow you to sell it for public consumption. So please, we will confiscate all your items. We will take back to the office. Go and identify a place where it's more hygienic condition. Then we'll come and give you items. Go and prepare the food. So please, because we give you several warnings that don't prepare the food here. You could see physics here. Can't you see what is happening there? So how many times should we come and talk to you? The begging will not solve anything. We are talking about the health of the public. So begging AMA will not solve anything. How many? That's what I'm asking. How many times should we come not to come and tell you that don't come to sell, prepare the food and sell it here? Because the environmental condition here is not favorable to your activity, but you keep on preparing the food close to where the fecal matter is.
Sir, if you can ask, where exactly is this fecal matter coming from?
This fecal matter is coming from this building. And that's what I'm saying. It's been a very long time that this building has been there. So the septic tank has broken down. But they also keep on using the tank.
So this is human feces.
Yes. So from here we'll go and find the landlord and we'll find out what is causing this. Because the thing is blocked. So since the thing is blocked, all the fecal material will just come and stack in there.
Okay, so this is a mini restaurant that is selling food right by fecal matter. And so the food has been sold here for some years now, and according to the AMA, they have visited this area several times and told them to leave or stop cooking here, but they have not done that, and they keep cooking food by fecal matter, human feces, that's going right into a container right by them. And so the AMA is breaking down their facility and stopping them from working with immediate effect.
Guy be our repower dear no. We are not the home combo.
So for now, no more occupy on even a toilet.
No, the only outside. I didn't mean station.
So come. These are fresh feces. You understand? So if they all go outside to go, I'm telling you.
We know wood. But you stop
in the year now, one more kind of war for 1 month. No, next week we are taking the house to court. So that why you are not interested about the property. If the property don't belong, you are the caretaker. So please take it and communicate to your landlord. We finish our work.
Reporting for Joy News, my name is Judith Awache Tando.
And the Joy Clean Ghana campaign is on. Don't give us reason to come to your location. But now, butchers in the district capital of KJB have issued a 1-week ultimatum to the district assembly to fix the insanitary conditions at the abattoir or face their wrath. A renovation of their original facility, which began 3 years ago, is yet to be completed. The situation has resulted in the processing and sale of meat under unhygienic conditions. Peter Senu has more in this report.
This is not fire outbreak, but how meat is processed for public consumption in the district capital of KJB, here in the Eatery region. This is the status quo over 3 years now, as meat for public consumption is processed under very insanitary condition. without any protective clothing, with bare feet, and some in just slippers. Meat is getting ready for the market. Joining sources say there have been some engagements between the butchers, traditional authorities, and the assembly to bring this insanitary condition under control, but have yielded no result as of the time of filing this report. A resident who lives very close to where the animals are killed say she has suffered the brunt of the smoke and the stench that comes from the place.
Dano amate se omode omo kunantwe aha no ampa anyamede kra efse usie no ekomedem ewianso boa yentiminti na fiemu.
I was not happy when I heard animals will be killed at my backyard. The smoke enters my room and the stench is unbearable when the sun is up. It is a worry to me.
Me fam kurampo ama mayare kakra wom nti mesre aban ne nimpenfo.
I became ill as a result of this. I am appealing to the leadership at assembly to complete works on the building for them to move in. When Joy News contacted the assembly, the district coordinating director Al-Hassan Suleimana declined commenting on the matter on record, except to say there were no funds to pay the contractor to finish the project, and also had asked the butchers to move into the uncompleted facility. The butchers have declined this offer as the facility has no water for the processing of meat, and the biogas facility to burn the meat is also uncompleted. The butchers are asking for immediate attention as the development is affecting their business.
You yourself look the board, look the place we are slaughtering animals. Even yourself is good for you. It's not good for me, it's not good for you. But you have to make it well. We are speaking to help us so that the elders all should come, the council, veterinary officers, they should come with seat. They should come, even if they no go fit do the thing for us, they should pass law to us so that we will contribute the money to prepare the place they are, so that we go there.
Before I can sell the meat, there is a need. I keep everything very neat so that people can patronize me. But looking at the environment over here, I don't think there will be an individual who passed here and then see how the environment look like and still patronize me. Even because of this, there is sales breakdown in our business now. Everything is becoming so down gradually, and we are pleading still so the government will intervene in this.
They say if nothing is done within a week, they would be compelled to demonstrate by killing the animals at the assembly premises.
We are so serious. Almost say they know am I come where the renovation of my baby.
We are unable to work whenever it rains. We are just appealing to the assembly to act on this now, else we would send our animals there for killing. The inspection done by the veterinary service is also futile, as the meat could be contaminated by the unhygienic condition at the site. Peter Sanu for Joy News.
Our apologies for not giving you fair warning about some of those disturbing images you saw. On to our next story now, and President Nana Akufo-Addo has committed to adequately equip the Ghana Armed Forces to enable it contain the security threats posed by extremist groups operating along Ghana's northern borders, as well as internal security challenges. Speaking at the presentation of some 60 vehicles to the force on Wednesday, the president noted that government is apprised of the needs of the armed forces, and as commander-in-chief, he is taking steps to ensure that they are met.
Government is constantly kept apprised of the needs of the armed forces, and as your commander-in-chief, I'm taking steps to ensure that they are met. We recognize that our vision of ensuring equitable distribution of development, progress and prosperity to all parts of the country can only be achieved in an atmosphere of peace and security. We're determined to continue in this vein and satisfy the legitimate demands of the armed forces. I congratulate you for your commitment and dedication in ongoing operations, especially Conquered Fist and Motherland, which are intended to create secure, peaceful atmospheres along the northwestern, northern, and northeastern borders of the nation.
Well, the president also cut the sod for the commencement of work on the $24.8 million housing project for troops. He stated that 40 half-compound houses will be built at Burma Camp, 10 each at the naval bases in Sekondi, the Air Force Base in Tamale, the 4th Infantry Battalion in Kumasi, and the 3rd Infantry Battalion in Sunyani. When completed, a total of 320 units would be added to the housing stock of the armed forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, before making my way to these grounds, I drove through the Ghana Military Academy Infrastructure Upgrade Project site, and I'm happy to note that the project has progressed significantly since I cut the sword for its commencement on 4th July 2019. The cadet mess, the square, and lecture rooms are completed. The administration block is some 95% complete, and the contractor is in the final stages of completing the external works. The 246 capacity cadet hospital and platoon commanders block are some 65% complete. I'm also informed that the housing project, which is an integral part of the facility funding the Military Academy Upgrade Project, will see the Ghana Armed Forces adding 832 units of 2-bedroom self-contained flats to its stock when completed. I understand that they're also at various stages of completion at 5, 6, and 6 garrisons. Again, I inspected ongoing construction of the 7-story Army Headquarters office complex, which is also progressing steadily. This project is costing the taxpayer some 33 million cedis. Undoubtedly, it will boost the image and morale of the Army, since the Air Force and the Navy already have very beautiful headquarters, and we cannot allow the Army to be left out. And finally, before I leave Burma Camp, I will cut the sword for the commencement of work on the $24.8 million United States housing project for the troops. 40 half-compound houses will be built here at Burma Camp, 10 each at the Naval Base in Sekondi, the Air Force Base in Tamale, the 4th Infantry Battalion in Kumasi, and the 3rd Infantry Battalion in Sunyani. When completed, a total of 320 units would be added to the housing stock of the armed forces.
Also at the event was Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwo, who expressed optimism concerning the vehicles and the housing project, saying they would greatly help improve the operations of the armed forces.
Mr. President, you saw for yourself the progress of work on the Ghana Armed Forces Military Academy upgrade, a project you personally did the sword cutting in July 2019. You also visited the ongoing construction site of the 7-story Army Headquarters building, the first of its kind in Ghana. You were briefed on the 820 units of 2-bedroom self-contained accommodation at various levels of completion across all garrisons. Today, the 4 units of 80 blocks, which forms the phase 2 of the housing project you are about to cast salt, will also add 320 units of accommodation across all garrisons of the Ghana Armed Forces. This is in tandem with your pledge to members of the Ghana Armed Forces during your maiden visit, which you made, and it's progressing, Mr. President, aggressively across the entire nation. Let me say we are very, very grateful for the investments you are making into the Ghana Armed Forces. Your Excellency, the Ghana Armed Forces continues to benefit immensely under your government through various interventions to re-equip and retool the armed forces to carry out its mandate amidst threats of aggression within the country and the sub-region as a whole. Combating these threats require real-time surveillance capability, high mobility, force protection, firepower, and communication. And let me say that this is exactly what you and your government has been doing for the Ghana Armed Forces from the first term as president till today. Your Excellency, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, during the president's visit in December 2019 and March this year, he presented armored personnel carriers, assorted Toyota vehicles and equipment, as well as other implements to enhance their operations. To further boost the vehicle and equipment state of Ghana Armed Forces, the President will today present 40 jeeps, 6 Toyota Mini Haze vehicles, and 14 Toyota pickups. These are the vehicles that will be commissioned shortly by His Excellency the President. Mr. President, I must admit, the Minister of Defense and the Ghana Military High Command acknowledge and appreciates your commitment to modernize the armed forces. And I can say there is no doubt that these vehicles will be put to use.
Let's head now to Techiman as part of measures taken to increase the number of girls assessing education in that municipality. The Girl Child Educational Unit of the Ghana Education Service is instituting strategies to get more girls back to school. The move, according to the Techiman Municipal Girl Child Coordinator, Ellen White, is to help reduce school dropouts as well as minimize poverty among women. There's more in this report.
As part of a series of programs earmarked to commemorate this year's International Day of the Girl Child, the Girl Child Education Unit of the Ghana Education Service in the Techiman municipality organized a quiz competition amongst some selected senior high schools within the municipality under the theme, Digital Generation, Our Generation. The move, according to the coordinator of the unit, Mrs. Ellen White, is to help improve the positive usage of social media amongst girls.
The theme is Digital Generation, Our Generation. Yes, so today there's been a symposium. We have dealt much on the positive impact of social media. We want them to throw the negative part away. We don't want them to abuse social media, but then focus on the positive impact.
Sharavan noted that the unit is instituting measures to help improve girl child education within the municipality.
Girls Education Unit Techiman Municipal is trying. We are doing everything possible to make sure our girls are well and can in future bring about development. We want to help the government to achieve its policy, the SDG Goal 1, to reduce or eradicate poverty in Ghana. So we have taken upon ourselves to make sure there is sensitization all the time. We do a lot of radio sensitizations. Last month, we were able to bring together some of our girls who delivered during the COVID. Yes, and by God's grace, we've been able to bring about 33 of them back to the classroom. So I think we are doing our best. We are trying our best.
Municipal Director of Education John Kwadwo Emisa expressed worry at the number of children hawkers in the municipality and called on parents to allow their children access to schools in order to grant them better future.
When you drive through town or you even go to the hinterlands, you find school-going children roaming about in the villages or some peddling or hawking on our streets. And for Techiman Municipal, probably we can attribute this to the fact that it has become the center of trade in our country. Those who are coming from the north probably make a stop over. You very often find many young girls and many young boys walking in our streets. The advice that we will give is that whether they are transiting through here to Accra or to the south to do business, we'll encourage parents to discontinue this practice.
Founder for Aid for Girls Foundation, who are partners to the program, Joyce Kunadu Aidan, encouraged girls to venture into the study of information and communications technology in order to help promote themselves when they are out of school.
When it comes to the use of computers, we have a lot of boys, because boys usually love playing games, usually love communicating online, and our girls love doing the handiwork, but we need to start educating them in how to use the internet, even in their handiworks. Now, if you're a business person and you can't promote yourself on the internet or online, you can't get the masses, because everyone is interested in the internet service now. So I would advise that even in our homes, in our schools, teachers will teach our young girls how to get themselves involved in the computerized system.
Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Tichiman.
It's still live on Joy News Desk. We take a quick break and return with business.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Ahead of the 2022 budget presentation in November, the Institute of Economic Affairs has charged government to take bold and innovative measures to mobilize resources and allocate them judiciously to support long-term sustainable growth. This, it believes, is capable of delivering sufficiently high living standards to Ghanaians and moving the country out of poverty within a generation. Charles Nixie-Wa has more.
He said Ghana has a serious challenge with domestic resource mobilization, and as such, year-on-year domestic revenue falls short of budget targets. However, the revenue targets themselves are not sufficiently ambitious vis-à-vis the country's needs. This has compelled the government to resort to borrowing. It attributed the problem to huge tax revenue losses, along with inadequate coverage of the tax system and administrative lapses. On resource allocation, the IEA said the distribution of expenditure is clearly imprudent, injudicious, and inefficient, and certainly serious expenditure rationalization and rebalancing is necessary. On public debt, the economic and policy think tank expressed concern about the debt service burden. This year, it is projected that as much as 56% of tax revenue will be used to pay interest on the debt. This level of debt service, the IEA said, poses risk for fiscal sustainability and the country's sovereign rating. It therefore recommended measures such as debt ceiling and fiscal consolidation to deal with the debt risk on a more lasting basis. On economic transformation, it called for a strong industrialization drive to transform the economy away from production of low value-added commodities into high value-added production.
Now, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has received 10,000 Ghana cedis from New Age Agric Solutions Limited, an agric input importer, to fund the 37th edition of the National Farmers' Day. Addressing the media, Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, Alhaji Hadi Tefuru, disclosed that the donation is the first received to support the celebrations.
The National Farmers' Day in Ghana is an annual celebration of farmers and fishermen observed on the first Friday of December. On Farmers' Day, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture honors with special awards deserving farmers and fishermen based on their practices and output. Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, Alhaji Hadi Tefuru, expressed gratitude to New Age Agric Solutions Limited for taking the lead in supporting the celebration.
On behalf of the Ministry and Minister and on my own behalf, thank New Age Solution, Agric Solution, for the support towards the Farmers' Day celebration, which comes off the 29th November to 3rd December this year. So we made an appeal for support to corporate institutions, and today we have the first donation from New Age Agric Solution.
Supply Chain and Logistics Manager for New Age Agric Solutions Limited, Edwin Nati, spoke to Joy Business after the presentation.
We are here today to show our commitment. We as a company are purely into input distribution and importation. We also do fertilizers, and then we have one of the finest crowdfunding projects in Ghana called the Nshiwa Project, which is currently running Aside that, we are also into production of soya, maize, and rice across the country. So we are here this afternoon to support the great work that the ministry is doing, to appreciate our partners, the farmers, and all of us who are in the industry for what we are doing.
That's it for business. Remember that we have Joy Business Social coming up tonight. We are discussing going their own way, the experiences of women entrepreneurs. They'll be sharing their experiences, and we have those guests lined up for you. Do make a date tonight at 6. But I want to talk about something very important happening today as well. Is the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair is taking place starting today till Monday, I think, at the Accra International Conference Center. And well, let's talk about it some more. Benjamin Akakpo joins me in the studio to discuss. So the dilemma, to build or to buy.
That's
have you figured out something?
I'm still working at it. I mean, it's in Ghana, there are pros and cons and you have to weigh them. But that is exactly what all of our viewers can come to this fair and actually get to know about, to build or to buy. Interestingly, this is the first time that we're having this event lasting this number of days. 5 days,
so I hear.
5 days
Wow.
till the 1st of November. So all of us should just make our way to the Accra International Conference Center and find out whether
you've been at the mini clinics, right? Tell us.
Well, there were 3 of them: Achimota, Wager, and the Junction Mall. It was pretty interesting because I was at the Junction Mall, and you should have seen the people. And there are good deals, sweet deals. So no one wants to miss out.
And we're hearing up to like 50%.
Up to 50%. Doesn't get any better.
Doesn't get any better. Well put. That's it for business. The news continues shortly.
Let's settle for some sports now, and my man Oriku Ampofu is here with us. I mean, you know how we do. Charlie, welcome aboard. What's the GFA say?
Well, today there's the 27th Congress going on ahead of the new season, which kicks off tomorrow. And so far, the biggest story we're hearing from Pram is that if you don't have full vaccination, you cannot enter stadiums this season.
Full vaccination, 2 shots.
2 shots.
If you've taken AstraZeneca, you don't have that, you're not going to get into a stadium.
Yeah, you need to show proof of that because the GFA are trying to get more fans into the stadium. Last season, we saw maximum 10%. There were most games played behind closed doors. They said they're engaging government to get more people into the stadium, and that would mean that everyone would have to show proof of vaccination. So players and technical staff would have to be fully vaccinated, and that also means that fans, if you want to enter the stadium, you have to have your vaccination card with you. And interestingly, Ghana's full vaccination rate is just below 3%.
It's very low.
Extremely low. So
I'm just wondering how the fans are going to react to this latest development. It means a lot of them automatically are going to be cut off.
Yeah, so essentially the target market moves from Ghana's full population to just about below 3% of that, because that's what the statistics say in terms of the fully vaccinated people. So out of that, almost 3%, how many of them would be coming to the stadium?
Good question, and we'll be answering that as time goes on. Let's quickly check out, as we wrap up on Joy News Desk, some stories on myjoyonline.com. Education Ministry terminates 27 of Mahama's E-Block contracts. That's our big story. My name is Benjamin Akakpo. Thank you for staying on Joy News Desk.